What's up, y'all? So I come to be very transparent and talk about a couple things. A lot of things happened this week. The most recent, and I might be all over the place, so bear with me. The most recent was I saw a bed bug for the first time. Now I came on here to talk about this because you may follow other groups or whatever the case may be, and I did freak out. I freaked out. Like, it does still make me itch a little bit, but I freaked out. I saw a bed bug at a clinic and I freaked out, and I'm gonna try not to get ahead of myself because I had time to process after talking to my boss. But I freaked out and I went on this page and I said, y'all, I done saw this bed bug and it made me want to quit and some other things. Like, because I've never seen one before in my life. Like, ever. I mean, I guess there's like people that never see roaches before. I don't know. But it freaked me out because I'm like, I don't want this in my home. So a patient does have them, and then someone else ended up getting them that works there. Well, people have been saying, see, this is why you got to shut people down. And I have shut people down, and I know how to shut people down. I just haven't always done it. If I'm tired and I might not even talk or respond if people are saying stuff, or, I might just happen to be standing there when something is being said, but that doesn't mean that you need to go by what you hear, which this sounds very simple and easy, but still, like, I guess it goes to the other point in my head to just try trusting management. Just try. Think about who it is. And do they respect you? Do you respect them? Do they respect you? Do you respect them? And so I'm going to come back to that. But anyway, so yeah, I freaked out, went on a page and said all that or whatever. I done took it down now. But of course, it was seen by my by my boss. And we were talking because I called her about it anyway, to talk to her about it and ask her questions about it. And you should do the same. You should ask questions to your management, whether you trust them or not. You should still ask questions, because at the end of the day, you must have a relationship with your boss. It is important. You should have a healthy relationship with your boss. For the most part, I try to have a healthy relationship with my bosses. It hasn't always been like that, because I had a situation years ago, and the boss just did not treat me right. So that now I see how, like, someone can treat you bad, and if you not fully over that, then when you deal with other people moving down the line, and this is in any relationship, then you will almost in a way like try to make them pay. I think my phone is clicking. Make them pay in a sense, or just act like it's like you scarred. So you have a hard heart towards anybody else, and you shouldn't be that way. You should get everybody their equal opportunity, their equal chance. And I'm grateful to always have had with this boss that I am with now. Respect. She's always respected me. So I thank God for that. And I respect also that she brought it up. She brought it up before I could bring it up. But she did say, she was asking me, she was getting ready to say something, and I was like, people be lying. because people will say stuff and they say, "Oh, Ebony," because I'm outspoken. Sometimes people will try to slap my name on stuff, and I'm like, I didn't say that, but I did say that. So I also said in the post that they weren't doing anything about it for the person that, the staff member that did end up getting the bugs, and turns out they are. So I was like, I apologize. I was like, I'll take that down ASAP. And she appreciated the fact that when she asked me, I told the truth. She was like, well, did you put this on? I was like, yes, I did. And I appreciated the fact that we had the conversation, the fact that she asked me, and it showed me a lot even more about myself. As beginning of the year, we do a fast at my church, and I'm still fasting. And the purpose of fasting is to see things about yourself that are very ungodly. I think that's a good definition of fasting. To get rid of those things, to change from those things, to be a better, for me, woman of God, woman of my word. So I couldn't lie. And I've been asked things before, and I'm like, there's no point in lying. And this is for people that be lying. If you be lying, stop it. This is for people that be lying. Now, if you're not lying, okay, don't be mad. Calm down. Don't be mad if you don't be lying. But I'm just saying, because some people be lying. But I almost lied. When I thought about the conversation, how the conversation was going, I almost lied, because I was like, oh, no, I didn't. People be putting stuff in my mouth. But then when she said, well, did you say this? And I was like, oh, shoot, no. Never mind. I did say that. And that doesn't make it right that I said it, or that I did it, or that I posted it, or whatever the case may be. Because how you say things and how you word things is everything. So, yeah, they are helping that person with resources and such. But this goes to, the healthcare system in general, because the more I thought about it, I said, well, dang, I'm over here freaking out because I've never seen one. Now, have I dealt and taken care of patients with bedbugs? Yes. When I first started dialysis, it took me back. I had never seen one. But when I first started, it was one of the patients had bedbugs. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't freaking out then. I don't know what's wrong with me now. Or what was, because that was like 30 minutes ago. But it's just like, I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, I've said or thought about doing home hemo. You go into people's house, you really could get a whole lot of things. And it just makes me think of the risk that we take, that sometimes I don't pay attention to like that. I don't pay attention to the risk. I just do the job. But the risk that you might take is, getting C+, C word, that thing that hit the world in 2020. The risk that you might take is a needle stick. The risk that you might take is hopefully not ever, contracting or getting bed bugs, but you definitely got to take the necessary precautions. And I do. With all of those things that I just said, I do take the necessary precautions. But, it freaked me out, y'all. Like, freaked me out. And the fact that the person is not, which I believe that the person is not doing their part to get rid of, now said bed bugs, and one of the reasons why a company, and that's not just dialysis, but anywhere, because it's apparently a nationwide situation. I was like, man, am I in a bubble? But one of the reasons that most places won't cover the patient or employee with it is because to prove, like, okay, yes, how can I prove that you got this from us? I understand, because then that's like, you know, many people will be just saying, oh yeah, I got, people be lying just to not work, when really you should just quit the job and go do something else, or just quit. Why are you gonna lie? But I ain't gonna go deep into that. I say all that to say also, I definitely mentioned, I was like, that makes me want to quit. It did, because I was like, I don't want no bed bugs, please, Jesus. But again, I take the necessary precautions when I'm dealing with, like, I normally bring my bags inside the clinic. Like, I might bring my backpack or something like that. Nope, not no more. Learn my lesson. Not no more, because I'm like, I don't want to bring anything in. So if anything, I might like bring my notebook in, because sometimes I have my planner, my notebook, and of course my lunchbox, but that's going in the break room. But it's like, I keep what I carry on me now to a minimum. If you are dealing at a clinic with bed bugs, you know, they have the alcohol spray, and they have actual bed bug spray. The other reason is, and I looked this up online, CDC don't even consider it a hazard. Now, that's where, again, it goes outside of working for a dialysis company or any other healthcare companies to even cover the patient, which, you know, half of these, I'm not going to say half, some patients are not compliant. So if they're not compliant with their own health, you know, like before the bed bugs, then they're not going to be compliant as it pertains to getting rid of the bed bugs. As far as like, if they did pay, who's to say that they won't get them again, because that patient is not compliant. So I get it. Now, does that sound bad? Absolutely. Sounds horrible. But I get it. And it just really brought the risk of what we do. I mean, you can, from an accidental needle stick, and that could be whether you're pulling a patient's needle, that could be whether a patient pulls their needle, that could be whether, those are two I can think of right now. But they're accidental, like the company's gonna be testing you for HIV. Well, we can prove that you got stuck with a needle. That's an obvious, because we deal with needles. We can't prove that you got bed bugs from here. So I get it. It sounds bad. Do I feel that much better about it? Like, a teeny bit. Just, I feel like I can trust my boss, and it definitely helped me to see, like, oh Lord Jesus, I gotta, really forgive that boss years ago, and I mean years ago, that I didn't forgive. Like, one thing I'm seeing on the fast, like, oh Jesus, this week I done rebellion. But don't get fired being rebellious, y'all. Don't get fired popping off at the mouth. Now, I'm over here talking about, make me feel like I want to quit. And they could be like, oh, well, bye-bye. But they didn't say that. So, grace and mercy, Jesus. Yeah. So, again, don't let, have relationship. If you don't have a relationship with your boss, have a relationship, get to know them. And I don't see mine as much because I float. So when I wasn't floating, I would peep into the office of my my managers, I would peep in their office, ask them how they're doing, and, you know, just talk to them because you need to develop a relationship with that person. And I'm not saying y'all got to be besties. I'm not saying you got to call them all the time. I'm not saying that you have to, like, just be super deep. Like, you don't. You just need to be honest. You need to have integrity. And as which they're showing it anyway, but they've proven, okay, I am a person that you can trust, then you go with that. You go with that. And so if a previous job or a previous manager, because every dialysis clinic is different, every manager style and manager is different. So if you have a situation, then you should be able to have a conversation with your manager. I greatly appreciate that, because again, it could just be like, oh, okay, bye, like, you're fired, but it wasn't. So the mercies of God. But a relationship and respect. Like, I also noticed this week, just the disrespect, but I'm like, well, who's to say I'm not? I haven't also shown disrespect in little subtle ways. So, I apologize. I was like, Lord, I repent. I'm like driving like, God, I'm sorry. Because have you been treated with respect? And people are just doing their jobs. It's not personal. People take things personal, but a lot of times it's not personal. And of course, the older I'm getting, y'all think I'm probably really young, but I'm getting older, y'all. I'm in my 30s, and that's still young, but it's not as young as in your 20s. I feel the difference. What was I saying? Respect. You have to just respect people, man. Like, respect managers. Think about it like this. That's what I was going to say. Who is the person that you respect the most in your life? Like, who is one of, or like, if you had to pick 5 of the top 5 people that you respect the most, that when they say something, you move, or you know what I mean? Like, who are those people? That's how you need to treat people that you're learning how to respect, because you don't know them, regardless. Because I had another situation with someone that I used to work with, and I was like, you know what, Ebony, you're going to respect this woman. I didn't agree with things that she said. I didn't agree with how she was doing things. I don't agree. But you don't have to disrespect just because you don't agree. And disrespect is a tone of voice. Disrespect is gossip. Disrespect is slander. Disrespect is, and when I say those things, that is telling, like, Lord, telling someone, and I didn't do this, but people do this. So, and I'd be walking off. I'd be like, nope. Like, the clinic can be a very messy place. You're dealing with a lot of women, and even I've seen the mess with the men. And not to say that in my lifetime or career, whatever you want to call it, I can't think of the right word, but in my time of working in dialysis, that I have not ever been messy. That's not true. But when I saw it, and I have mentors that correct me, then I immediately fixed it. So that's why I say I know how to shut a conversation down. And then if someone says, oh, well, this person ain't doing this and this person ain't doing that, well, that's not true. They're just not doing it the way that you would do it, the way that you want to do it. and you really probably just want that person's position. Some people just want your manager's position. But the crazy thing is, the other thing is, some people just messy. They don't even want the position. They just don't want that person that's in the position in the position. And some people want the position, but they don't qualify for they disqualify themselves by their character, by the way that they talk about another manager, by the way that they talk about another, nurse, another tech, or whatever the case might be. Like because whoever you're talking to, you don't know who they know. You don't know how they're going to see you from henceforth. So your character is everything. So I do pray that my character, I believe that my integrity has spoken for me, but I pray that my character has spoken the loudest as far as how I handle situations. Now, do I handle them right all the time? Absolutely not. But will I be shutting some conversations down or just straight up walking away more? Because I already do it, but even the more, absolutely. Because what you don't want is to, and I did tell, I told a patient and I told a tech or a nurse the same thing in the last week or so. I will not have those same, I choose not to have those same feelings that you have about that person. And I don't want to hear it. I will say that as well. I don't want to hear it. I don't understand. And I don't want to understand from your point of view, because your point of view is distorted. Shut folks down. I'm trying to tell you, y'all, we too grown to not shut people down. So that's why I'm not afraid to do it. Honestly, sometimes I just be tired. I be like, you too grown to be saying what's coming out your mouth. But okay, I understand. And that comes with having, people in your life that can correct you. Can you be corrected? Do we like being corrected? Most of the time, no, we do not. Folks, we want to do their own thing. Dialysis is filled. The dialysis field is filled with a lot of people that have strong minds, because you can't be, you can't be a certain way in this industry. But as far as chronic hemodialysis, like people that have strong minds, people that are independent, people that are can be prideful. And when I say strong minds, I don't mean that all the way in the bad way, like, because I have a strong personality, full of people that have strong personalities. But the independence that we get, as far as like, you don't always have someone hovering over you in your pod. So you have to handle that the way that you would as if somebody was hovering over you. I got audited this week, but I did good, y'all. I'm so proud of myself. And I say that because I've done good for the most part. It just be like little stuff. Like one time my hood was out of my PPE, and then one time my tape, I didn't tab my tape, which honestly I don't like doing that, but I will do it. And I don't like doing it because it snags the patient's clothes. Then you have a situation, but I will do it, or I'll do it and then snap off the tab once I get the tape on the patient's arm. Either I do that, or I will have the tape going over the tab. That way, if the first one comes off, all the other ones don't come off. Excuse me. So, yeah. I hope that this helps someone. I hope that this helped you with integrity. I hope that this helped you to see yourself, because I know, Lord Jesus, I said, I'm about to go get on my kneecaps. I repent, Lord. I'm sorry, Lord. The rebellion, just the not wanting to be told what to do. But I had a conversation with my mentor this week about that, and I was like, okay. Because I didn't want to be told something, and I was like, dang, I don't want to be like that. First of all, we all want somebody to listen to us. So why is it that when someone tells you something, you don't want to listen to them. And I don't mean to just listen, but also, like, if someone's correcting you, like if your friend, let's make it a little more personal, you know, if your friend is correcting you, or those that are married, if your husband is saying, not like, nah, don't do that, like, you know, why don't you try this instead, like, because they're looking out for you. So you need those people in your life that's going to look out for you, that's going to tell you when you're wrong, and that's going to tell you when you're right. You need those people in your life. So, yeah, I appreciate those people that's in my life, and I am grateful to be able to say that my boss is one of those people. And even talking to y'all again, I realized that I was not fully over when the old boss, the way she did me. Like, it was really bad, y'all. And I was young, too. I was younger. So, it was hard. And that was one of my first real jobs. So, it was hard because I was really trying to respect her, but she treated me really bad. Like, anyways, I won't stay there. I'm just grateful for the maturity. I'm grateful for the growth. I'm grateful for my church family. I'm grateful for my spiritual parents. And you'd be like, why are you saying that? Or I'm grateful for my pastors. I'm grateful for my mentors. And you might be like, why are you saying that? Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to have that conversation with my boss. I would not have been able to receive and understand, like, oh shoot, like, she actually do care about me. Like, I wouldn't have been able to be corrected. Like, if you can't, you are going to fail in life if you cannot be told that you are wrong. And once you're told you're wrong, if you cannot correct and right your wrong. So, again, I was talking about the bed bugs and how I posted it and all the other stuff, but the point of that also is, like, I immediately took it down because, okay, we've had a conversation and I should have been asked. Like, should have been asked. So, just go back. If you are a person that you're outspoken, but you be like, man, I don't want people to say, it don't matter what they say, because at the end of the day, it's going to come back on you. Certain things are going to come back on you because you are the one that they know will speak up. So what you going to be speaking up about? Like, make sure it's truth. Make sure it's in gentleness and kindness and not rude. Yeah, so I'm going to go in the house, and I hope that you guys got something out of this. I also hope that this helped you if you're dealing with bed bugs. If anything, honestly, it just reminded me of the risk that we take in our job, and that could be with any other healthcare type of job where you're dealing with patients one-on-one that are coming from their home, or if you're going to their home. It also made me, that was a big remembrance, and also to think of, to prepare, not to expect. I don't expect to get bed bugs because I do take the necessary precautions, but and then no one else, a lot of other people don't have them either in that place, or the other places that I go to, because there are other clinics that I go to that have them, and then you really don't know if the patient has them or not, so you should just treat them all the same. I mean, I was trying to end this, but you can get really close to some patients, and it's like, no, you should treat them all the same. Like, you can get close to them and, want to hug them, all this stuff. I really haven't hugged a patient in a long time. But I say that to say you don't know what their home is like. Like, think about the hoarders. These people be having jobs. You don't know what their home is like until they get on that episode of Hoarders, and you be like, oh my God, this is what you're living in. So think about stuff like that. Anyways, let me get off of here so I can go inside and get my life together. Let me know if this helped you. Let me know, if you're dealing with the things I named bedbugs, I named respect, I named disrespect, I named trust, I named integrity. Like, what do you think about everything that I said? And in that same respect, come respectfully. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all.